I was told the same story you were, that if I worked harder, sharper, longer, the crown would appear. That talent speaks for itself. That virtue will be noticed. It's a lie, a soft poison whispered to keep you obedient. You feel it now, don't you? The quiet ache of being overlooked while the unworthy rise. That ache is proof you've been deceived. The world does not reward the capable. It rewards the strategic. It crowns the visible, the connected, the loud. It discards the silent genius who plays fair. The game isn't merit. It's positioning, not truth, but perception. And if you're still waiting to be chosen, you've already been forgotten. History is a graveyard of brilliance. Men and women who built, solved, created, and then vanished. The crowd rarely notices the competent. It notices the performer, the manipulator, the image bearer. Capability is quiet. Power demands spectacle. Look at courts, boardrooms, governments. The skilled technician fades behind the curtain while the showman takes the throne. Look at your own life. How many you know are less able, yet ascend faster? They understand something you don't. They know merit is invisible without a frame. They know substance alone is irrelevant. They know power moves through impressions, not facts. And they weaponize this knowledge without shame. Meanwhile, the capable stay small, polite, expecting recognition. Recognition never comes. Stop playing for recognition. Play for positioning. Recognition is the prize for pawns. Positioning is the battlefield of kings. Ask yourself not, how do I improve? But, where must I stand so improvement matters? Build perception, not just skill. Skill without visibility is silence. Visibility without skill is noise. The power lies in the fusion. Learn to stage your competence like theater. Control what they see, not just what you do. Attach yourself to networks of influence, not ideals. Ideals do not elevate you. Power structures do. Find the circles that manufacture perception. Enter them. Become necessary to them. Loyalty to ideals makes martyrs. Loyalty to leverage makes survivors. Understand, invisibility is death. Even brilliance rots in silence. Make yourself a presence that cannot be ignored. If you remain unseen, your talent will die unremarked. If you appear indispensable, even your smallest moves will echo. Machiavelli warned, ability without appearance is like a sword in the dark, sharp but unseen. He understood the cruel truth of power. It is not enough to be sharp. You must be visible enough to cut. Begin there, or remain a ghost among the crowned. They followed him because he walked like the answer, not because he was right, not because he was capable, but because he looked like someone who should be obeyed. That's all it took. The world is blind. It follows outlines, silhouettes, echoes of command. Truth is too quiet. Precision too slow. In the race for influence, appearance is the only gear that matters. The unworthy know this. They rise not by merit, but by mimicry. They've studied what authority looks like, how it moves, how it sounds, and they replicate it like a mask that never slips, because they understand something most capable minds do not. Confidence is a better costume than credentials. Speak like you've already won, and the world will kneel before it questions. Act as if you're the center, and gravity will arrange itself around you. The crowd confuses sharpness with sharpness of tone. They think the loudest must be the leader, the stillest must be the judge. They crave symbols, suits, certainty, standing posture, still eyes. The costume of control triggers obedience deeper than logic ever could. And this is where the capable fall. They bring answers, but they deliver them quietly, with doubt, with disclaimers. They wait to be asked. They hesitate before they strike. And the world, ever impatient, crowns the one who simply arrived first, not the one who deserved the crown. I've watched rooms obey empty men. I've seen committees surrender to suggestion just because it came without apology. It's not fair, but fairness is irrelevant in systems built on survival. You think you need proof, results, facts. You don't. You need presence, posture, precision of tone. You need to manufacture inevitability, the illusion that you were always meant to lead. Speak first. Interrupt the inertia of the room. Control the frame before a frame controls you. Whoever sets the premise sets the limits of what's possible. Whoever ends the discussion becomes its authority. Use decisive language. Kill qualifiers. Erase hesitations. Certainty is seductive, even when it's false. Say less, but say it like a verdict. Occupy space. Stand as if no one is allowed to fill your shadow. Let silence drip from your pauses, like tension pulled from a knife. The room will adjust. Their pace will mirror yours. Authority is contagious if you carry it with calm brutality. Claim roles. Take seats. Others hesitate to approach. Leadership doesn't begin with competence. It begins with audacity. The throne was always empty. The one who sits first is the one who is remembered. Never wait for legitimacy. Take it. The gatekeepers are asleep. The guards are pretending. Step past them. Titles are paper. Perception is iron. And once you wear the mask of necessity, no one dares ask if it's real. According to Machiavelli, the appearance of power is often more important than power itself. He didn't say this to insult your intelligence. He said it to remind you. Those who rise are not always those who deserve it. They are those who understand what fear, awe, and certainty look like and know how to wear them. They don't hate you because you failed. They fear you because you didn't. You keep asking, why not me? You assume you lack something, but the answer is more ruthless than absence. It's your presence. Your competence reveals their fraud. Your strength amplifies their weakness. And that makes you dangerous, not to the system, but to those who depend on its protection. The capable are not discarded for failing. They're erased for succeeding too early, too clearly, too loudly. Mediocrity cannot tolerate mirrors. It survives through denial. And you, by existing, become the reflection it dreads. This world is not built to celebrate excellence. It is built to preserve the fragile. The unworthy do not want to compete. They want to remain unchallenged. And so when someone like you enters the frame, precise, competent, unshaken, you disturb the balance, not through arrogance, but through the quiet violence of being better. True competence is confrontational. Even in silence, it removes excuses. It reveals the gap. And insecure minds will do anything to preserve their illusions. They'll minimize your presence, rewrite your contribution, frame you as too much, too distant, too intense. They won't say, "You scare me." They'll say, "You don't fit." You were never rejected for weakness. You were rejected because you were a threat to the hierarchy, to the unspoken rules, to the comfort of those who could not match your clarity. It's not the sword that frightens them. It's the silence of the hand that holds it. So you must learn restraint, not for humility, but for strategy. If your brilliance is obvious before you have leverage, it becomes ammunition for those who fear you. If your edge is seen too early, it will be filed down by 1,000 quiet hands. Hide your edge until you have leverage. Do not reveal strength to those who would use it against you. Silence buys time. Invisibility buys space. Let them underestimate you. Let them ignore you. Every dismissal is a gift. It lets you move unguarded. Soften your brilliance to bypass resistance. Be average in appearance, modest in tone. Leave room for their ego to breathe. Strategy is not self-expression. It is self-preservation. Let your light flicker, not blaze, until it's too late to extinguish. Understand this. Early exposure of competence is a tactical error. You don't need to win the room. You need to remain undetected until the structure leans on you. Then, if they remove you, the collapse begins. Appear benign, then strike. Let your ascent feel accidental. Let your power look like necessity. When your presence becomes the solution, no one will question how you got there. Silence is your ally until power is secured. Speak less, move quieter. Let your actions speak only to those who know how to listen. The rest will wake up too late, and by then, the pieces are already yours. According to Machiavelli, men fear what they do not understand and destroy what they cannot control. Expose your full competence too soon, and they will neither understand nor control you. They will destroy you. Quietly, socially, systematically. Wait. And when your silence becomes structural, their fear becomes your leverage. They didn't miss you. They excluded you, not by accident, but by design, because you didn't look like someone they could control. You didn't dress the part. You didn't echo the tone. You didn't flatter the script. You were too sharp, too self-contained, too real, and that made you forgettable by force. Visibility isn't earned. It's constructed. The world doesn't reward what is excellent. It rewards what is familiar, what feels comfortable, what plays along. The unworthy are crowned not because they impress, but because they blend. They study the signals, mimic the codes, and fit so well into the environment that resistance becomes impossible. They don't disturb the waters. They float. Meanwhile, the capable reveal too much. Their depth makes others uneasy. Their originality disturbs the pattern. Their clarity introduces tension. They speak when they should watch. They challenge when they should mirror. It's not the truth that gets you noticed. It's the costume. A tailored lie is more welcome than an unfiltered fact, and the room will always protect its own reflection, even if that reflection is hollow. Social camouflage is not deception. It's strategy. You're not here to reveal who you are. You're here to position yourself where revelation becomes a weapon, not a weakness. Study the costume of your environment. Wear it. Every space has a uniform, not just of fabric, but of behavior, cadence, rhythm. Learn it like a second skin. Conform not to submit, but to slip inside unnoticed. You cannot reshape a system from the outside. You must first disappear within it. Mirror language, posture, pace. Match their frequency before you shift the signal. Let them think you belong. Agreement is the entry fee. Familiarity is the mask that opens gates. You do not reveal your true shape until the door is locked behind you. Build allies in silence. Speak less, listen more. People hand their secrets to those who look like them. Trust is formed through recognition, not truth. Use this. Become the mirror that reflects their comfort until you hold their loyalty in your palm. Delay authenticity. Lead with a mask. Truth without power is vulnerability. Truth with timing is dominance. Camouflage is not cowardice. It is calculation. You are not hiding who you are. You are controlling when they see it. The ones who last are not the most genuine. They are the most strategic. They build masks so convincing that by the time they remove them, it's already too late to turn away. Do not be eager to be understood. Let misunderstanding serve you. Let the assumptions pile up. Every misread is a layer of cover. Every dismissal is permission to move unthreatened. When you enter a space, enter as echo, not origin. Then, once the rhythm is yours, shift it. Slowly, quietly, until your reflection is the one they start to mirror. According to Machiavelli, those who disrupt too early are isolated. Those who conform first, control later. The relevance is clear. You don't win by being yourself. You win by being what they accept. Until what they accept becomes yours to redefine. They don't climb alone. They build ladders out of people. Look closely at anyone who rose without merit. Their power is not built on skill. It's built on allegiance. A web of dependency spun so tightly that no one dares pull it apart. They don't need to be strong. They just need to make others afraid to leave. In a world where perception is stronger than substance, loyalty is more valuable than talent. Merit can be ignored, but a network of bodies willing to defend you cannot. The unworthy ascend not by convincing minds, but by binding hearts. They feed the need to belong. They build tribes, not proofs, and tribes move faster than reason. This is the quiet arithmetic of influence. The capable think excellence is enough. They think skill speaks louder than manipulation. They stay isolated, proud, perfecting their craft. Meanwhile, the unworthy collect people. They understand that loyalty multiplies power, the way leverage multiplies force. One person's weakness becomes another person's shield. One person's devotion becomes another person's throne. They create echo chambers where their flaws vanish. They reward obedience more than competence. They train followers to feel chosen, to feel protected, to feel necessary. This isn't friendship. It's architecture. And once the structure is built, it becomes almost impossible to challenge from the outside. If you want to see true manipulation, don't look for a tyrant shouting orders. Look for the smiling host, creating a circle of belonging. Look for the one who always offers a role, an identity, a story. They're not building alliances. They're building cages disguised as homes. You cannot fight this with skill alone. You cannot outwork a network of believers. You must learn to build your own or be surrounded. Build alliances emotionally, not logically. Logic persuades minds, but does not bind them. Emotion binds. Find what people fear losing. Find what they long to feel. Offer that. People follow those who make them feel seen, even if the vision is false. Offer identity, not just opportunity. Make your presence a story they can inhabit. Make your space a place where they matter. The unworthy understand this instinctively. People don't leave a place where they feel essential. They only leave when they feel invisible. Trade secrets, favors, symbols of trust, and collect them quietly. Each one is a thread in the web. A secret exchanged is a bond formed. A favor given is a debt owed. These are not trinkets. These are levers. The stronger the web, the easier the pull. Never isolate. Embed yourself inside loyalties Before you seek control, power without a base is paper. Power woven into relationships is steel. Become indispensable to a network before you reveal your ambition. By the time they realize you're the center, they will need you too much to resist. This is not morality, it's mechanics. The unworthy are not crowned because they are good. They are crowned because they understand that loyalty is a weapon sharper than talent. Learn this, or watch your competence dissolve under their collective shadow. According to Machiavelli, the wise prince makes his power felt through men's devotion, not their admiration. Admiration fades, devotion defends. It is the difference between being applauded and being protected. Understand this law, then decide which you will build. There's no announcement, no resistance. One day, you're simply not there. Not invited, not mentioned, not necessary. And that's the kill shot. The capable are not crushed. They are erased. Neatly, quietly, as if they were never in the room at all. The system doesn't need to destroy you with violence. It uses silence. It eliminates. Through neglect, it forgets you on purpose, not with hatred, but with something colder. Indifference. When you refuse to play the social game, the game moves on without you. You're not removed. You're bypassed. And what's left is a perfect illusion that you never mattered to begin with. Competence without social fluency looks like arrogance, or worse, threat. They don't understand your precision. They feel it, and feeling outmatched turns to quiet resentment, not loud enough to name, just strong enough to close every door behind your back. You don't get punished. You get omitted, and omission is the most efficient execution. No backlash, no noise, just absence. The rooms you should have led begin to shrink around you. Conversations happen without your name. Decisions move forward without your approval. The circle tightens, and the air grows quiet. You thought you were safe because you were good, but being good is not the same as being involved. You thought power came from performance, but power comes from presence. And if you're not present, you don't exist. You are too focused on the visible: hierarchy, titles, ranks, approval. But the real decisions, the real outcomes, move through side doors, whispered names, unrecorded nods. And while you stayed in your lane, they rerouted the entire system. Control access. Insert yourself into the conversations that matter. Before you're locked out, power moves in proximity. Be where decisions are shaped, not where they're announced. If you're not in the room, you're on the table. Map the informal power structures. Ignore the official ones. Job titles are illusions. Influence flows through who listens to whom, who trusts whom, who fears whom. Follow the current, not the signposts. Train the art of presence, the silent, watchful kind that asserts without noise. Make your stillness felt. Make your absence noticed. Speak less, but be felt more. The most powerful figure in any room is the one who could speak, but doesn't need to. Never wait to be chosen. Engineer your invitation. Manufacture your own necessity. Make your insight part of the process. Make your voice part of the plan. If you hesitate, they will replace you with someone who didn't, according to Machiavelli. The unseen man holds no influence, and influence is the only shield against execution. He wasn't speaking of violence. He was speaking of erasure, the kind that happens when you choose solitude over strategy. The capable do not fall by failure. They vanish by silence. They won't see you, not until they feel your absence like a missing lung. They won't give you the crown, but they will kneel when the structure they rely on begins to collapse because you're no longer holding it. To survive here, you cannot wait to be seen. You must become necessary in ways they don't fully understand. Invisible but embedded, silent but central. The most dangerous man in any system is not the one demanding attention. It's the one whose disappearance causes paralysis. True power is not loud. It's silent dependency. It's when decisions stall because your voice hasn't been heard. It's when progress halts because your hand isn't on the wheel. They may not credit you, but they can't function without you. And that, not recognition, is control. The unworthy play for attention. The capable must learn to play for leverage. You make yourself valuable, not by display, but by design, quiet integration, deep placement. Become the piece they don't notice until it's gone. Then let that absence echo. Silence is not retreat. It's the tightening of the leash. It's the stillness before systems fall into disorder. They won't realize what you are until you vanish. And by then, they'll have no choice but to pull you back on your terms. But this requires discipline. Ego screams for applause. Strategy prefers quiet necessity. You must embed without display, influence without noise. You must build your value at the root, not the surface. Embed yourself at the root, not the surface. The visible role can be replaced. The core function cannot. Find the lever points others overlook. Make yourself vital to the outcome, not the optics. Those who feed the system from within can never be discarded, only feared. Control outcomes, not impressions. Don't chase being liked. Control what gets done. Make your fingerprints invisible but irreplaceable. When you direct what matters, those above you depend on your silence, and those below you follow without knowing why. Be underestimated, then vanish. Let your absence expose the vacuum. Don't warn them. Don't remind them. Withdraw and observe the disorder. Influence is measured not by presence, but by consequence. Never announce your power. Let them discover it through dependence. Power that is declared invites challenge. Power that is felt breeds fear. You must be the question no one wants to test. The shadow behind the outcome. The silence behind the movement. Machiavelli said, "The wise do not speak of their power. They allow others to feel it. The moment they need you more than you need them, the game is over." That is the crown they will never give, but will be forced to protect.